Boo! No intro this time around, only me and saying good morning, afternoon, evening everybody! My name is Jamie Jew and welcome back to a brand new video where it's again the rundown roster, if you like, or at least at the very least an update video to the little poll I've been doing for you guys to vote in the Eurovision community. And boy oh boy, you guys have been voting in your hundreds. Thank you ever so much. Actually in your thousands if you think about it in terms of the total votes, which is absolutely fantastic. I mean, I can't thank you guys enough for all of your votes regarding all participating countries in the Eurovision Knockout 2024. It's a little bit of a weird title. I probably should come up with a better one, but there you go. It is what it is. But yes, we're back to collect your results that you have been voting in your droves in deciding which particular countries will unfortunately be bowing out of the little poll competition thing, or which ones will be progressing all the way to the knockout stages of the Eurovision Knockout 2024, which is effectively what it is. So yes, now we're going from group stage to the knockout, and I will be explaining further as to how it's all panned out with, of course, as always, my lovely little PowerPoint presentation. And here it is in all its glory, and forgive the shirt because for some reason I've lost my England top, but it is what it is. Yeah, welcome back to the Eurovision Knockout 2024, as it says on there, but I will be guiding you all throughout the trials and tribulations as to which particular countries are going through and which we will be saying goodbye to. So, quick reminder of the rules then in regards to this, once we get it all back up again. So yeah, all countries are qualified from the for the European Championships 2024 feature in the tournament. One song per country, of course, but this was, of course, a lot of people's little doohickey thing in regards to why there were certain countries that they could vote for and others so not, like why certain countries featured past songs and not 2024 songs. That's because obviously a couple of countries were featured in it whereby they're not in the Eurovision Song Contest this year, so only going back to their previous ones. And I thought I was going back to their previous participation where they were in the grand final, and I also kept it fair for every single country, whereby if they didn't qualify for this year's grand final, that song wouldn't feature. So their last participation in the grand final would feature. In the case of Denmark, that would be 2019, and you get the idea with that. They were released once every 2 days, and we're of course now at the cut-off point whereby no more votes are allowed. Results are on based on a percentage of the votes, group stage as well as knockout format as we already established. The top two will progress straight to the knockout format, but the four best third places will also progress to the knockout format. I will explain further that in terms of the best third places. And so yes, it's conducted using the percentage, and there's also a knockout format produced, so it'll be the same as per the Euro 2024 stuff. So, quick reminder of all the groups then, so they are all on the left. For Group A, we had Germany, Scotland, Hungary and Switzerland with their respective songs you can see there. Group B was Spain, Croatia, Italy, Albania. Group C, Slovenia, Denmark, Serbia, England. Group D, Netherlands, France, Poland and Austria. Group E, Ukraine, Slovakia, Belgium, Romania. And Group F, Portugal, Czechia, Georgia and Turkey. So, without any further ado, let's get on with the results. Ooh, attention! So we're going to start off with Group A, and this is the little table I've got here. This is, of course, seeing the place where they were, along with the country, the song and the result. So, let's get on with it, shall we? So, starting off with Group A, finishing in 4th place and bowing out of the competition with 9% of the votes from Group A was Hungary. Vlazatnaya with the song. So unfortunately, we will be saying goodbye to Hungary from the competition. See you later. So we'll be moving on to 3rd place now, getting on with it straight away. So they get 11% from the vote. Remember now, this is a country that, yes, will finish as 3rd placer at the moment, likely not to qualify, but still have a chance via the best of the four out of the 6 best 3rd placers. I hope I make sense of that. So this country could still qualify, could not qualify. It's up in the air. So in 3rd place from Group A was Scotland. So Scott Fitzgerald with the song Go was the best 3rd placer out of this one. So you probably know which particular 2 countries from Group A have already qualified for the knockout stages. But we got to find out which particular position they actually finished. In second place with 20% of your votes from this group was Germany, always on the run, which means in first place with 60% of the vote was, of course, the actual winner from this year's Eurovision Song Contest, The Code by Nemo for Switzerland. A absolutely dominating result for the Swiss there. Both Switzerland and Germany progressed to the knockouts. Scotland is touch and go. Hungary we will be saying goodbye to. Sorry, guys. Moving on to Group B. And in fourth place, that will be bowing out of the competition with a little 2% of the vote. That's a little harsh. But they will be bowing out, and that is, of course, Albania with the song Duje. That was, of course, in 2023, not this year's competition, because Albania qualified last year rather than this year. So, yeah, not many people giving them the love that I think Albania deserved, but there you go, it is what it is. So, Albania will be bowing out of the competition. In third place, getting 16% of the vote. So, at the moment, they're doing better than Scotland. And that is Spain, the Zora with the song. So, at the moment, I would say Spain are likely to qualify, but we will see. So, again, I'm sure you know which two countries are qualifying to the knockout stages. But we got officially announced precisely where they finished. In second place with 24% of the vote was Italy with La Noia. So a lot of love for Italy, obviously, for this year. There was so much love. It was quite incredible, actually. So yes, I'm sure you can gather which particular countries topped the group, but they've topped it with 59% of the vote. And that was, of course, Croatia with the song Remtim Tagidim, a legendary song, and I'm so glad it topped the group for my own personal tastes, if you like. So I'm really glad it topped the group, but it was a huge hit worldwide, never mind in Europe. So yeah, second place in the Eurovision Song Contest tops this group. Moving on to Group C. Obviously we have to say goodbye to Albania, so there you go. Group C, well, finishing this of course, I should point out, this was a really tight group. Like, this is arguably the most tightest of all the groups. In real life, in the actual European Championships, the most boring, but also was very tight, has to be said. But this was anything but boring. There was quite a few changes, actually, in terms of the actual percentage of each vote. So this is a crucial group to get out of. I think this is definitely the tightest of them all. So, finishing, unfortunately, in fourth place and bowing out of the group with 18% of the vote. I mean, that's harsh. Because especially Spain might still qualify with 16%, so this will be harsh in this particular country. And that is England are out of this knockout format. The song Dizzy only getting 18% of the votes, which is super cruel on England in this occasion, and there's not much I can do about it. Even as an Englishman myself, there's nothing I can do about it. It's so annoying and so disappointing, but hey, it is what it is. So England are out of this poll, but at the end of the day, it's only a friendly little poll. It's only nice and cool and chill. It's only just a little bit of fun. It's nothing serious. But getting a cool 20% of the vote, finishing in third in Group C, was Denmark with Love Is Forever. That was from 2019, which of course did qualify for the final. It was the last time Denmark did qualify, and they pit Dizzy by the post by 20%. So, which of the two countries, which we already know, they are Slovenia and Serbia, have both qualified for the group stages, for the knockouts even, sorry, but the country finishing in second with 31% of the votes. Okay, I'm actually going to spoil it slightly. So, for now, I've put Serbia second at the moment with 31%. But Slovenia actually got 31% as well. So that will be done as a tiebreaker to determine which particular bracket they go in the knockout stages. So, yes, Serbia and Slovenia tied at 31% at the top of Group C. They both qualified, but I will, of course, determine which particular country goes into which particular bracket. Denmark, on the other hand, they're looking good with 20%. England, unfortunately, we do have to say goodbye on this occasion with 18%. I say only 18%, still very high, but there you go. See you later, England. Group D in this particular knockout, unfortunately finishing in 4th place and bowing out of the competition with 5% of the vote was Poland with the song Solo. That was, of course, Blanca from 2013. Not very popular in amongst you lot, it has to be said. So we will be saying goodbye to Poland. In 3rd place, finishing with 21% of the vote. So they're even on a higher note at the moment to try and qualify from the knockout stages. Again, not guaranteed, but they're looking likely. And that is Austria with We Will Rave. So yes, Austria finishing in 3rd place from the group. It looks like they're going to qualify, but we will see. So I'm sure you know which countries have finished 2nd and 1st in Group D, but let's again get clarity. 2nd place with 32% was France with Mon Amour. A very good, respectable 32%, allowing them to qualify 2nd out of the group, which means topping the poll with 41% is Your Papa from the Netherlands, a legendary song. And yes, I know I did include them in this, but hey, we've already established about the rules in my previous video, so go check that out if you haven't already done so. There should be a link somewhere, or annotations, etc. So let's move on to Group E, but before we do, we have to say goodbye to Poland. See you later. Austria, I think they look likely qualifying here. Group E, well, let's get on with it. Again, we have to say goodbye to this particular country. Finishing in 4th place in the group was, well, with 3% of the vote, was, I mean, it was always going to happen when it's Slovakia do finish bottom of the group. That was the song Modlitba the Bar from 1998, which was the last time Slovakia were in a grand final. Yes, it was not in the period where semi-finals were introduced, but that was the fairest outcome for Slovakia I could think of. But hey, some of you, I mean, 3% of you voted for this, which is quite funny. But yeah, we do have to say goodbye to Slovakia, unfortunately. So, 3rd place, finishing 3rd place with 12% of the vote. So, oof. Well, it was Romania with Yamame, so it doesn't look good for Romania, but I can tell you that finishing in 2nd place, also with 12% of the vote, so effectively has joined 2nd, was Belgium because of you. So that's the 2nd tiebreaker we're going to have to deal with at the end of the revealing of all the results from the respective groups. So Belgium and Romania, that's tight. That is really, really tight. So we'll have to separate them from a tiebreaker. So unsurprisingly, with a whopping 73% of the vote, topping Group E was Ukraine with Teresa and Maria. Wow, what a result for them. But then again, I think it was unsurprising. Ukraine was such a massive hit across Europe. It's a brilliant song and definitely way better than Belgium and Romania in more ways than one. I mean, look at that. That is just ridiculous amount of percentage there. So a lot of love for Ukraine. But hey, that'll be an interesting tiebreaker to separate Belgium and Romania. We'll get back to them later. In the meantime, bye-bye Slovakia. Sorry. And finally, Group F. Finishing, unfortunately, at the bottom of the group in 4th with 10% of the votes was Turkey with Love Me Back. That was, of course, the last time they qualified. Well, actually, the last time they actually participated in the Eurovision Song Contest, which was in 2012 by Can Bonomo, but they do finish bottom of the group. So as a result, we have to say goodbye to Turkey. But finishing in 3rd place with 25% of the vote. If anything, the top 3 were very, very close, it has to be said. But finishing in 3rd with 25% of the vote was Georgia with Firefighter, but given the way the percentages have gone, I think it's safe to say Georgia have qualified. They have definitely qualified for the group stages, given the way certain percentages have been with 3rd places so far. So yeah, I think Georgia have qualified, but we'll confirm that later. But in the meantime, finishing in 2nd place and qualifying from the group to the knockout stages with 27% of the vote was Czechia with My Sister's Crown. So yes, a 2023 song beat a 2024 song for that matter, which I found extremely surprising. But hey, this is the way the poll is, you know what I mean? It's just the way things are. So well done to Czechia finishing in second. So finishing top of the group with 38 points was Portugal with the song Rito. So I will get back to you in a moment or two while I figure out the best third places. Hello guys, back again. Let me get rid of these headphones actually, I don't need them. So yes, I've tallied up all of the best of the third places, and here is the list beside you, just to save any tension or anything else like that. So let's run through which particular countries will be heading home and which ones will be progressing to the knockout stages. So yeah, unfortunately finishing bottom of the third places was Scotland with the song Go with 11% of the vote. But this is a big but now. Currently either Belgium or Romania will be progressing to the knockout stages. The other one will be heading home because they finished fifth best out of the third places. If you like, us both finished on 12 points. I'll explain the tiebreaker in a moment. But going through with these percentages, so Spain have progressed to the knockout stages with 16%, Denmark with 20%, Austria with 21%, and Georgia was the best of the third places with 25%. I will explain the brackets fairly soon, but in the meantime, I'm going to explain the tiebreakers for you. Here we go. So to recap, Slovenia and Serbia have both tied on 31% at first place in their respective group. But that's only to decide the brackets, really, and where they're going to end up in the knockout stages, which could be a little bit crucial. So there you go. But both of them have qualified anyway, so it doesn't really 100% matter. But what does matter is Belgium and Romania. They're both tied for second place. One's going to progress. One is going to bow out. So how are the tiebreakers going to be separated? I'm going to make a decision on this. I thought, just never mind about all this fanciness. It's only a little poll. This will be my decision on which particular countries go to which particular brackets. And in terms of my decision, it's just going to be based on which song I prefer, you know, at the end of the day. So if you don't like my decision, let me know in the comments and I will politely ignore it. So in terms of which particular country is going through. So between Slovenia and Serbia, my decision is Slovenia over Serbia. So I'm going to put Slovenia as top of the group, Serbia as second in the group, which I think, in my honest opinion, is fairer. I mean, I did prefer Slovenia anyway out of the two of them when going through the whole song competition for 2024 because it's a bit more dark, a bit more gritty, whereas Serbia, I found a little... It's still a nice little ballad, but I just felt it was a bit too boring throughout the first half of it. It peaked up in the second half of it, but Slovenia just kind of grips you mostly throughout it. So for me, Slovenia's the pick out of the two. But out of Belgium and Romania, who's going through? I have picked Romania to progress over Belgium. As much as I find Belgium a nice little boppy number, Romania has that je ne sais quoi about it from 2022. Which, looking back on it, I felt was a bit more like, you know, to my tastes, and a bit more like flamboyant, a charismatic, whereas Belgium was a nice boppy number, but there was a lot of gimmicks involved. So for me, Romania is the better song out of the two between, which basically is Yamame from 2022 compared to Because of You from 2023. So that's my opinion. So, without any further ado, let's get on with the knockouts. So this will be your brackets for the round of 16. This is the top half of the bracket. So Portugal will face Austria. So that's Grito versus We Will Rave. France versus Romania. Mon Amour versus Yamame. Switzerland with the code will face Serbia, which is Ramonda. Croatia will face Spain. That's a bit of a tasty one. Sort of, I guess. Well, that's Room Team Tagidin versus Zora. And the bottom half of the table, Slovenia versus Georgia, which is Veronica versus Firefighter. I think that's going to be a close one, actually, come to think of it. Germany versus Italy. I think that could be a bit one-sided. That's Always on the Run versus La Noia. Ukraine versus Denmark, Teresa and Maria versus Love is Forever, and finally Europapa versus My Sister's Crown, which is the Netherlands versus Czechia. So those are your brackets. I will of course be releasing each of these votes every single, well actually starting from today. So yeah, I will be releasing all of the songs, I'll be releasing each of the brackets of songs of the round of 16 from today, from about 8 o'clock tonight. So unlike the group stages, instead of you having 2 days to vote, well basically they're going to be released every single day, but I will give you enough time to vote on every single one all the way up until the extra 2 days after the final one has been released. So there'll be one released per day. But I'll give you an extra 2 days after the final bracket has been released. And in terms of who's going to face who, is as you see there. So out of the winners of Georgia v Slovenia will play the winners of Germany v Italy, and vice versa. So that's why I said bottom half and top half of bracket. So yes, this will be an interesting knockout phase. But as always, that's about it in terms of the group stage results, and what's going to happen from the knockout stages onwards. I will leave now you guys in your capable hands on who to vote for from each particular bracket. So have fun, vote away to your heart's content on which particular song you think will be better out of those two brackets, and indeed will go all the way to win this particular Eurovision knockout 2024 knockout tournament. It's certainly been interesting, and I thank you all so much for your vote, but continue voting because you're not done yet. Also, shout out to England, who got 18% of the vote, which would have been enough for the best third places. In fact, if anything, if they finished third instead of fourth, it would have got on fourth place and qualified from the best third places. But they bowed out, so it is what it is. Anyways, take care, and thank you ever so much for watching. As always, I would encourage you to you guys to subscribe to my Eurovision YouTube channel, smash the like button on this video for good measure, and of course, ring the bell to get notified about my latest videos. Catch you again in the next one. Bye bye, everybody. Bye bye.